Hi, my name is Theodore Cottingham in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, USA, and I love you. And I come to you with a message of Christ. Now, being it will understand it, creating the understanding of it because now you hear it from someone who has channeled it, who has channeled information from another world that you are. Will you be the Christ in your shoes this day? You see, the message that Jesus brought into the world was not about him. It was not for him to be the Christ, the only Son of God. That was not the message. That is not what Jesus preached. That is not what he brought. And I've discussed this and taught this for years and years. I began channeling 21 years ago. Words from another language, another energy, another system, another existence, another dimension, another planet, another world, another consciousness. And now the consciousness of Christ will be developed by you who will be it. And you will no longer resist the consciousness of Christ. Many will say this, do this, become this now, because you learn to channel too. You learn to be the channel, no more in existence of denial. I see you as Christ, combing the literature to confirm it no more, but to be it in your shoes. The common, the everyday, Christian, not. Or will you change what you think of Christ into being the Christ in your shoes if you accept it? Will you no longer just want a theory, a taste? Or will you touch it in your mirror? This is the School of Creation, TheodoreCottingham.com. Love creates, you see. Love is not stagnant. Love is not jealous. Love does not produce envy. Unconditional love does not produce followers, nor want followers, nor seek followers. Unconditional love creates unconditional love. Leaders who are equal with unconditional love. That's what unconditional love produces. Just like Jesus said in John 14:12, if you believe in me, you will do the things I do, and more. Greater. Why have so many been afraid to create another consciousness, develop another consciousness? Are you willing to develop another consciousness? Will you not be afraid to let God, Jesus, Source, Universe, whatever its name is, whatever your name for it, will you no longer be afraid to communicate with it? Her, him, it. You see, thanks, Cyrus. It's all coming to a head. Hey, Jesse. It's all coming to a head. No longer the head of confusion. If you will learn to let. This is, hey, this is me. I'm a common guy. I don't have all the answers. I'm not your God. I'm not your Messiah. I'm not your soon-coming King. I'm the one that says, my friend, look in the mirror to find it. You see, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The power of life and death is in your tongue. So many of us have, in whatever way we knew or were taught, we loved God. Many of us loved Jesus. We poured out our heart. We studied. We accepted what we knew. No, I suggest that we accepted what we have been taught. But now let us go on to no more be taught by those who teach us the same thing over and over and over and over again. Unconditional love is dynamic. Not boring, not static, not stagnant, not putrid. Unconditional love does not condemn. It operates by another operating system. And this operating system is coming forth in the earth now. And people have feared it because they've been taught to fear it, because the teachers can't control it. You see, teachers can't control the message. You know, those that wear collars, robes, and rings and walk like they have it all down, that they're the authority. They're the master. They are a level above you, and they make sure you know it, most of them. So they teach a message of Jesus that's been passed down for generations to keep you in line with their thinking, their authority, so that they remain the teacher and you remain the student. You remain in the pew, a church member, a pew sitter, a tither. But the people, you, all of you who have a heart for love, whether you call it God, whether you call it Jesus, whether you call it Allah, whether you call it anything you want, Ralph or Betty Sue, if you have a heart for love and you begin to love love and begin to commune with love and not be afraid of what I'm calling love, communing with you directly, you will begin to experience words, energy, language, light, love, peace, something. And that relationship which you had with the Word, with the preacher, with your image of what you held as God, Jesus, or whatever, will begin to change. That's my message. And I suggest that millions now of women, men, and children of every nation, tribe, and tongue will begin to listen with their inner voice. Can you listen with your voice? Can you listen with a receptivity? With a receptivity that, in fact, allows what you're receiving directly from love to speak it, to write it, where you're writing the first person words of God, Jesus, love. It is imperative. Whether you call it channeling God, channeling source, channeling the universe, whether you call it New Age or not. You see, right? Truth is truth, right? Truth is truth no matter what you call it. No matter how right or accurate you are or not. So I'm suggesting the Jesus message now changes everything. Not. But you who become it in your shoes change everything now. And this is my message, and you are who I'm looking for. If you're willing to receive this message, accept it. Conceive it and not resist it. If you're ready for more than you've ever known. I've taught a long time. I began recording what I channeled 21 years ago. So I'm an old guy. I'm 73 now. See a new message. See a new interpretation. See a new energy, a new consciousness. Create the consciousness of Christ. No longer worshiping it, no longer studying it in a book. To be a student of the Word, their homework, their fellowship, their little fill-in-the-blank pages. My friend, become the Christ in your shoes is the message. Become the Christ in your shoes is my message to you. Become the Christ, creating the consciousness of one, developing the consciousness of the Creator of miracles, the Christ, the Anointed One, the Messiah. You see, it's took me a long time. But I know who you are. And it's ever coming more clear to me as I teach. Because I teach, I'm teaching me too. Because I surrender to not be led by the cognitive power of my influence, my intelligence, what I think you might want to hear. No. I just want to be me, who I am. I'm an old guy in Eureka Springs. And I'm sharing my experience, my knowledge. We have been doing what we have been taught to do as Christians. or whatever faith, religion, or whatever else. Humanity is basically copycat, the 100 monkeys, the 12th monkey, whatever. But I suggest to you all that is going by the wayside, because there are those of you who are in a pew no more. You've already decided you want more than what's being given. And you're willing to go into what? The unknown. Are you willing to have an adventure? Are you willing to go into the unknown? Are you willing to leave Egypt? The Egypt of the allegory? Slavery? The land that enslaves by magnetism, ignorance, brute force, shunning, exclusion. If you're willing to go where no one has gone before. You will find, as you begin to open that door, little by little, day by day, sentence by sentence that you begin to write, you will become able to see clearer and clearer your table. The table of one, the feast table, with your name on a little placard in front of your chair, as it were, because you're invited. And you can see and do things you never imagined. You have powers. You have power. You're not powerless. You're not a beggar. Your righteousness is not as filthy riches, filthy rags. You're the most lovely of all, if you love love. And begin to understand the difference between the worship of God and becoming love in your shoes. Love is not fragile nor temperamental. I've said this over and over so many times. There's no condemnation in love. Unconditional love. So I don't think I have a lot to say today. You see me look down at the lower left like this. So I have my tablet. I have a picture of, I don't know how well you can see it. A classroom. And this is what I see. This is what I'm looking at, a classroom of men, women, boys, and girls, all colors, all cultures, studying, but not studying the scripture to show yourself approved unto God, a workman, da-da-da-da-da. No, none of that stuff. No. It's coming into a new consciousness, a consciousness that is completely different, transcendent. You see, if you come to unconditional love and You ask for a fish, will it give you a stone? No. If you sit down with love and a yellow tablet in your pen, and you say, love, whatever your name is, whatever you want to be called, what do you want to be called? What should I call you? Start over. Come as a little child. The kingdom is not up there. The kingdom. Look not to the right or the left. The kingdom, your promised land, is inside of you. And you can enter. And never leave if you're willing to receive the promise to become the promised one, the promised child, the child of promise, the miracle-working child. You see, it's all changing. Christianity has introduced a lot of people to a God concept, just as other religions have. Christianity has contains, and really to a large degree is built on the story of Jesus. But the story of Jesus presented to us has been so limited. Hi, Ricky. But the story that Jesus brought is unlimited. And in my 21 years of channeling, what is my message to you, to give you? Such as I have, give I thee. Love. For you to be it in your shoes. The Christ mind, you develop it. And you develop the Christ mind by not being subservient to it, but by coming into the mind, the Christ mind, the mind of infinite intelligence, not infinite superiority, but the infinite unconditional love that says, here I am. Come. Get out of that tree. Get out of that tree. Zacchaeus, come down. Come out of that tree you've been living in, where all you eat is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And let's go talk about the tree of life. And talk about the garden and what you're cultivating. And let these words begin to come into you through your humility. To receive not another image to serve or pray to, but a person to be in your shoes, the Christ. Hi, Igor. I love you all. Thanks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for caring. Thanks for expanding your love base, your base of love, your base of knowledge. But not your knowledge from fools who want to contain you or restrict it in any way, shape, fashion, or form. I'm asking you to take the limits off of you and begin to see there is a school of creation inside of you. This is the school of creation. The school of creation that is not mine. It's yours. as is the message that Jesus brought. Need to turn the heat down. $30 when I woke up. See, I've written many posts. I've made many recordings. And I made one the other day that said, those who warn you against false teachers are the false teachers. I invite you to take a risk. Yeah, ring light. Yeah, thank you. I have on my actually glasses that I can read through so I can read your comments. I usually wear my non-glare glasses and I can't read that little print. So anyway, here I am. So much of religion is based on fear of hell, fear of false teachers, fear of the wrath of God. And my friend, there's a fork in the road. It's big, it's now. And Jesus will no longer be seen as one to serve, as one to worship, while you sit your life away in a pew, on a rug, reading Bible verses. I'm not talking about religiousness, religiosity, or religion at all. I'm talking about what you become in your shoes. And the message that Jesus brought, I suggest to you, is what he became, because he became the model, Jesus the pattern. And that's why I wrote the book. I wrote a book, you can find it on my website, TheodoreCottingham.com. Jesus the pattern. For you to become what he became and do the things he did, just like John 14:12 says, and that you begin to understand John 3:8, and you begin to redefine a lot of verses that you have interpreted, where you're no longer just accepting what you've been taught. You go in. You go inside. You go inside. Where? The kingdom of heaven is within you. The source, see? The source of the source is inside of you. And I'm asking you to begin to learn from the source of the source that is inside of you and begin to see the difference between control-based love and unconditional love. Very, very different. And what most humanity is used to and all we've been taught is control-based love. Love, love, serve. Here's a list of commandments. Here's the hierarchy. But friend, there's no hierarchy in unconditional love. There is a generosity beyond imagination. And that's my message. Be not afraid to develop the consciousness of Christ, the Christ mind, whatever you want to call it, the mind of unconditional love, the mind that sees no lack, that does not exist in the limitations of this finite world. The infinite body, the infinite mind, the infinite love, unconditional love, the infinite, now opens the pearl of great price, the kingdom within you, to show you that it is you and that you're not subject to the finite laws of classical physics. All the works, all the miracles, all the teachings of Jesus show you what you can do. This is my message. Everything Jesus did, you can do. But to begin doing it, to begin knowing this, where do you begin? Considering it, becoming curious, conversational. Are you willing to go where you've never gone? Inside of you. To hear the voice, to listen to the language of love, light, love, peace, a gentleness, a tenderness, a nurturing love to reproduce nurturing love. See, this is cataclysmic to control-based religion, fear-based religion. Because you learn when you come into the presence of unconditional love that there is no war. There's no battle in heaven. There's no war. You give up your idea of Jekyll and Hyde. You give up your idea of two trees in the garden. You give up your idea of how things work in this world. And increasingly, you learn to unlearn a lot of things that are no more hazardous to your health. You become less concerned about the lion in the street or how hot the fiery furnace is. So that's my message, and I go. I love you all. My name is TheodoreCottingham.com, Theodore Cottingham School of Creation. For you to create the real you, the you that is not dependent upon your flesh or your finite world, and to begin to enter a state of existence where you begin to understand the message and begin to cultivate the consciousness, where you begin to cultivate the conscious creation of the Christ that's you, and begin to encourage each other to do so also, and to see another story. Study my words, you're welcome to. I have over 1,000 videos on this YouTube channel. Over 1,000 posts I've made on my website that you can search. For the purpose of you coming in to the knowledge that is within you that has been dormant, that you've been ignorant of, that was there, and how to enter it. and the kingdom of heaven is within. Pick up your pen, whether you call it channeling, no matter what you call it. I call it the operation of the new covenant. It's the promise. The new covenant was where unconditional love said, I will put my words in your heart directly. That's the new covenant. New covenant's not a book. It's not a person. It's the operation. And I'm asking you, inviting you to listen, discern, develop the consciousness of Christ. For you to create the Christ. For the consciousness of Christ creates the living Christ in your shoes. And my friend, you are not limited, whether you're male, female, no matter what you are, no matter what your preference is. No matter whether you're queer, gay, straight, no matter what your name for love is, behold the Lamb that you no more take to the slaughter. You are no more slaughtered in the pew. You are no more slaughtered by the ignorance which allows you to forfeit your privilege to enter the kingdom of heaven within you, so that the outside becomes as the inside is. Interdimensional, dimensionless. And you see and you hear things unlawful for somebody to hear. Unlawful. Lawful? What law? What law is keeping you out? What fear is keeping you from going in? I ask you to come into the realization of the revelation of Christ for you to be it in your shoes. And my name is Theodore Cottingham, the simple old guy in Eureka Springs. No, Randall, I don't. I love you all. I go now. Have a good day, a great day, a blessing day, a blessed day. I'm asking you to have a creative day. I'm asking you to allow knowledge to come into you directly in the operation of the new, eternal, everlasting, undeniable, irrefutable, irrebuttable covenant of love. And let love begin to teach you directly. Value your words. Write every day. Be not afraid of a stray word or a misconception. I mentioned many times as I began to experience that which I had no precedent for and no encouragement from anybody to continue when I began to write the first person words of love 21 years ago, channeling love. It has taught me to become who I am, to open the school to teach you to be in your own school of creation. Love said, fear not making a mistake or an error. If you err, I will come caressingly correct you. The most incredible, powerful words. I will correct you, but not with a rod. I will come caressingly correct you. So fear not a stray word. The first 2,400 lessons that I channeled are the base of this school. I call it the Meonics Covenant, where you become the real me, the true message of Christ, to be me, the Christ, all of us being one. That's the fulfillment of John 17, where Jesus prayed that we all might be one. One energy, one consciousness, no longer limited to this finite world, all of us doing all the things that Jesus did and more. And this is what we're coming into. So I invite you, pick up your pen. You can write me. You can ask me a question. There's a contact form on my website. And I share my life with you today this way. And I invite you to open yours to the kingdom within you and be taught directly by the love that says, I will never leave you or forsake you. And even if you make your bed in hell, I am there. See the prodigal son returning home, the prodigal daughter, the prodigal kids from plantations where we've been on planets of slavery, our energy system used. However, you want to see it. Open your eyes and find the kingdom of God within you. And let love speak. I love you. Theodore Cottingham. TheodoreCottingham.com. Share these words. Record this. This is school. Outline it. Make a recording. Listen to it again. Outline it. Write an article. Be in motion so that you are not stagnant. You are also precious, and you too, Miss P. The preciousness of unconditional love. And I end with this thought. Unconditional love is a flow, and it is in motion. Control-based love seems to be often stagnant, control-based, stopping your words, stopping the flow of love from coming through you, through your mouth, through your ears, the ears of the mind, of the heart of love. So listen with love and grace. Love the one in your mirror, because I do. See you later. TheodoreCottingham.com. Share these words and share your light, because, my friend, you're the light of the world. You have the power of life and death in your tongue, because it's connected to something. And the source of your energy, if it's light, love, peace, and joy for all around you, you begin to love unconditionally. The words of the finite cannot hold you back nor depress you anymore. Day by day, open your mouth, write with your pen, and live love and love you, forgiving you and everyone else of all things, because the infinite is opening up to us all in a new way, in the new beginning, to see the real message of love in action. Thank you so much. I love you. Good day.